Well, hello and welcome back to the Common Farm Flowers channel. It's a Monday afternoon, it's the 28th of April, and I'm in the middle of doing some party flowers for one of my clients, which is lovely, very spring feel, very beautiful. But I'm also conscious that in just a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks time, I'm in a team of florists going to the Chelsea Flower Show, and we are making an installation of funeral flowers. And you may think, really? That's not very cheerful. I would argue with you there. I don't see why funeral flowers should be in any way funereal. They should be beautiful, inspiring celebrations of a good life well lived. Every single person who lives has an effect on the world around them. And no matter how long their life or how obviously, people, sometimes they're really famous and they do all sorts of things, and sometimes they live a small but incredibly valuable life. Whatever happens, if you're having a funeral for that person and there are flowers for them, then that is a life worth celebrating. And so what we've been doing is the team who've been who are going to be making funeral flowers at Chelsea have been making a few clips to show you some of the mechanics which we use in our floristry, because we are very eco-florists and we do not see why funeral flowers should be heavily based in plastic, foam. Floral foam is a horrible stuff because it crumbles immediately. It is very much a single-use plastic on account of once you've soaked it and rammed all your floral stems into it, it begins to degrade automatically, begins to shed microplastics. And you can't do anything with it once you've used it once, that you simply cannot use it at all. And it will just degrade into millions of little microplastics, which might end up in waterways or in compost heaps or take 500 years to degrade in a dump. So let's not use any more floral foam or any plastic containers for funeral tributes, because they're all single-use plastic. Some plastics, I love a good plastic seed tray, for example, because I use them for years and years and years. They are not single-use plastics. They're useful, sturdy, useful things. Anyway, I thought, having made these lovely flowers, I thought I'd show you another way of making, really simple way that anybody could do this, of making funeral flowers. Now look, what I've done is my client loves these little posies. I love these little posies. And they are just little posies, 20 stems tied into a little posy, and I put them in jam jars. And they're just simple jam jars, but they look very effective, simple, uncomplicated, and the flowers get to do all the talking. Now, I know these are for a party, but I don't see why flowers for a party and flowers for a funeral should be so different from one another. So I'm going to take these party flowers and show you something you can do and you might think about doing for a funeral if you were planning to do such a thing. Now, obviously not everybody feels confident doing floristry, so you can always ask your florist to help you do something like this. Or if you have a garden full of flowers, or the person who's died has a garden full of flowers, you might like to go foraging flowers and then make some posies like these yourselves, which you could then use on the coffin. And imagine afterwards, everybody can take a little bunch home. Right, so I'm going to just show you my good idea. Now, number one, I've just got these little posies and I have put them in a narrow box. And they would make a very nice, what we call a coffin topper. And the jars are the wrong size for this box, but I only ever film what I'm actually working on because I don't have time to make special films. So I'm always filming my actual work. So these jars, normally if I were going to make a coffin top, I would have put them in slightly shorter jars, but you can see how attractive they are in this little narrow box. And this was made by my husband, and it's just ordinary wood, and he's nailed it together and he's made it very simply, and we use it quite often. But it also makes a base for meadow boxes for weddings. It's a multi-purpose box, but you can imagine how that works well as a coffin top. And you can also imagine how after the funeral, the posies could be taken out of the box and given as gifts to people to take home with them. You could give people flowers to say thank you to people who've helped look after whoever died. It's a very good idea. Often, I mean, if a person is buried, then you can leave the flowers at the graveside, but increasingly people are not buried, they're cremated. And then the flowers can be taken and given to other people, or they could be put at the wake as part of the decoration, and then people can take them home. So that's a really good idea, number one. I'm a really big fan of the simple jam jar posy because it's such an incredibly versatile base for doing floristry. So we'll put that there. And then this is another way. So these are the same posies. I love this. Imagine the person who died loved nothing more than going for a picnic. Wouldn't that make a lovely coffin top? In a picnic hamper. And if you ask the funeral directors they put on the top of the coffin a little piece of sort of silicone matting which stops the flowers sliding around. So you could put a picnic hamper on top of the coffin and fill it with jam jar posies. These are the same posies I just showed you before. These are the posies that will go to the party. And after the event, you can give them as a thank you to people. And there's no waste. These are simple 20 stem posies in a jam jar. And I have to say, I think, look at, if somebody dies and you're thinking, I don't want flowers that look funereal. I don't want something that forgive me my shirt. I don't want something that looks very formal and is made in floral foam. It only needs to last a day. It doesn't need to last a week. Do have a look around the house. There might be something, the person might have been a very, very enthusiastic gardener. And I think my colleague Carol is going to make a clip of boots filled with flowers for a funeral. Or they might love going on picnics and they might have a picnic hamper. There might be something lovely in the house that could be filled with flowers, and just using a jam jar, you can put the flowers in the jam jar. They've got their reservoir of water. They're very, very pretty, not difficult. Anyway, that's just another idea for making sustainable funeral flowers. No floral foam, no plastic, 100% biodegradable flowers, recyclable containers, no chemicals in the water, just fresh garden flowers. I cut all of these out of my garden this morning here at Common Farm in Somerset on the 28th of April. Anyway, have a lovely day, everybody. I'll see you soon. And if you're new to the channel, you're very welcome. Please do subscribe, press the bell icon, and we'll tell you when we've got more clips coming up. And if any of the tips and tricks we give you along the way are useful, you can always buy me a coffee, or better still, join my club. The links to coffee buying and club membership are in the blurb to all my clips. Right, better get on. What do I have in this mix? Well, I have lilac, cow parsley, snowball bush, or Viburnum opulus, Telema grandiflora, great favourite of mine, apple blossom, these little silver people, Ornithogalum nutans, the silvery foliage, that's Brachioglottis, and oh, I love this. This is a spindle, a fancy spindle I have, and I've long lost the name, but it's really great in spring foliage because it's spring arrangements, because it's got this lovely red stem. What else have I got? Dead nettle. Always have some wild in my floristry. And I think, oh yes, and some cornus. I think that might be it. It's a lovely mix. When I die, can I have a picnic hamper full of flowers on my coffin, please?